The Hungarian Grand Prix weekend at Balaton Park is barely underway, but already the MotoGP paddock has been shaken by the fiery outbursts of Jack Miller. The Australian, who joined Pramac Yamaha earlier this season, turned the spotlight away from the on-track action after launching a stinging remark at Yamaha over his uncertain future in the Premier class. His comments, laced with frustration and ultimatum, set tongues wagging across the paddock, before he quickly attempted to row back with an apology. It all began after a difficult Friday at the brand-new Balaton Park circuit, where Yamaha endured another sobering reminder of its ongoing struggles. Out of the 4 factory-backed Yamaha riders, only Fabio Quartararo managed to break into Q2, while Miller, Miguel Oliveira and Alex Rins languished at the bottom of the timesheets in 17th, 18th and 21st, respectively. Miller, trailing Pedro Acosta by almost a full second, vented his irritation, not only at his own performance, but also at the state of Yamaha's competitiveness. But the flashpoint came on Thursday when Miller publicly challenged Yamaha to make a decision regarding his future. "I've been more than patient," he snapped. "If Yamaha want me, let's get on with it. If not, then so be it." It was an unusually blunt statement, one that many interpreted not as a passing comment, but as a deliberate dig at Yamaha's indecision. Within hours, the Australian was summoned by Yamaha's director Paolo Pavesio, leading to a hasty apology. Yet the damage was done. The paddock had already taken note of Miller's pointed words. Miller's remarks cannot be brushed aside as a mere slip of the tongue. In MotoGP, words carry weight, particularly when aired in public, and this was less an offhand comment than a calculated expression of frustration. Yamaha's current predicament, with its lack of competitiveness and uncertain rider lineup heading into 2026, has left riders like Miller feeling exposed. His decision to voice these concerns openly speaks volumes about the fragile trust between the Australian and his team. The situation also reflects the wider issues facing Yamaha. The marque has struggled to keep pace with Ducati and KTM, both in raw power and adaptability to new circuits such as Balaton Park. Miller's claim that he is being kept waiting for clarity on his contract only fuels speculation that Yamaha is unsure whether he fits into their long-term strategy. This uncertainty, coupled with the team's poor form, has created a volatile environment in which riders are increasingly vocal. The apology, while diplomatically necessary, will not erase the undertones of Miller's outburst. Rivals and observers alike will see this as more than just a flare-up. It's a warning shot. Miller, a rider known for wearing his emotions on his sleeve, has essentially challenged Yamaha to prove their commitment. If the factory fails to respond decisively, they risk not only losing Miller, but also further destabilizing their reputation at a time when consistency is needed most. At Balaton Park, the headlines may be about lap times, but off the track it is Miller's fiery words that have ignited the biggest talking point of the weekend. His outburst has laid bare the tension simmering beneath Yamaha's garage, and whether it leads to reconciliation or rupture could define both Miller's career trajectory and Yamaha's MotoGP future. Beyond the tension with Yamaha, Miller's on-track frustrations also boiled over during Friday's pre-qualifying session. With just 7 minutes left on the clock, his fast lap attempt, alongside Francesco Bagnaia, was ruined when Alex Marquez slowed down on the racing line. Both riders were visibly furious, and the incident ended with the stewards handing Miller and Marquez a 3-place grid penalty for Sunday's race. While the Australian accepted the ruling, he was quick to highlight that such setbacks only added to the sense of exasperation he has felt all weekend. Interestingly, Miller did not shy away from admitting that his own performance was far from ideal. He openly confessed that the Balaton Park layout, with its demanding changes of direction, exposed Yamaha's shortcomings. "We need to improve the bike's ability to turn," he said bluntly. His comments mirror similar grievances aired by Quartararo and Oliveira in recent weeks, signaling that Yamaha's weaknesses are systemic rather than isolated to one rider's style. The Australian's candour has drawn mixed reactions within the paddock. On one hand, his honesty resonates with fans who value straight-talking riders, unafraid to call out issues. On the other, Yamaha insiders view such outbursts as counterproductive, potentially damaging morale at a time when unity is vital. By apologising, Miller likely sought to smooth over tensions with management, but many believe his true feelings remain unchanged. What makes this episode particularly intriguing is the timing. With 2026 contracts already being discussed across the grid, Miller's impatience suggests he feels vulnerable about his future. At 30 years old, he is no longer among the youngest crop of riders. And with manufacturers eager to invest in rising stars like Pedro Acosta or Jorge Martin, Miller may feel the need to make his case loudly and publicly. His outburst, therefore, is as much about self-preservation as it is about Yamaha's performance. Looking ahead, Yamaha faces a critical decision. Do they double down on Miller and reassure him of their long-term vision, or do they let his ultimatum push them toward alternative options? Either path comes with risks. Failing to secure a rider with Miller's experience could leave Yamaha exposed, while keeping him without addressing the competitiveness of the M1 risks further discontent. One thing is clear, Miller's outburst has forced Yamaha's hand, and the ripples of his words will be felt long after the Hungarian Grand Prix concludes.